Good morning. It's Friday, May 1st, 2020. Happy May Day, all you fellow travelers. And I want to remember way back in the late 1970s, 1977, in New York City. I was living in Manhattan on the Lower West Side in the neighborhood called Chelsea. West 22nd Street, I think it was, back when Chelsea was a slum. um, it's pretty prime real estate in New York these days, but it wasn't when I was there. But it was wonderful. I mean, I was in Manhattan. And I remember as, a young artist, navigating the center of the universe. I would frequently see performance artists who were working in and around New York City, especially Manhattan. One of them, she was legendary. Her name was Rollerina, and it was this gay man from, I think he was from Kentucky or Tennessee somewhere, and I don't know his name. I think I've heard it before. But anyway, he would go around Manhattan on roller skates in a fairy costume with this huge ballet tutu and maybe probably carrying a fairy wand or something and big sunglasses and all. I mean, brilliant, brilliant. I remember I was shopping at Bloomingdale's one time. I was buying a necktie. I think it was a gift for someone. And so I'm at the counter and here comes Rollerina in Bloomingdale's. It was wonderful, brilliant. And then there was another performance artist. His name was Stuart Sherman. And I had to look up his biography a little bit. And he must have been just beginning. He did these things called spectacles. He traveled all around New York City. I think I saw him on a Staten Island ferry once. I don't know if I was going to or from the Statue of Liberty or whatever. Anyway, so it was on this boat deck of the ferry, and he had this little, it was like a television tray or something that folded up and all. Well, he set up this TV tray thing, and then he arranged little objects like dollhouse kinds of things, and it was totally silent. I don't remember him speaking or anything, but it was mesmerizing. A crowd would gather, and it was just wonderful. And I think he developed those throughout his career and all. So that was Stuart Sherman. And then the last one that I want to remember is, and I don't know his name, and I tried to Google to see if he was famous or not, and I don't think he was. He was a street musician, and there are many of them in the subways and all around New York City. Well, this guy, I used to see him because I used to second act Broadway shows, which means I would sneak into the Broadway show at intermission when the audience was out on the sidewalk having their cigarette and all, and then when they flicked the lights to go back in, I would go in with the audience and run upstairs to the balcony where there were always empty seats and grab a program and watch the second act of the Broadway show because I couldn't afford the price of a ticket. I was very good at that. That's how I saw not all of my Broadway shows, but many of them. Well, this guy, because there were a lot of tourists in the Broadway theater district and all, he was a violinist, and there were a lot of street musician violinists, but he had this dog with him, and it was a mutt of a dog. I don't even remember the breed. It was a mixed breed, I'm sure. The dog would sit next to him while he played this violin, and he wasn't an exceptionally brilliant violinist or anything. He was okay. The dog would sit absolutely still. The crowd that would watch him, the musician, they weren't watching the musician, they were watching the dog because he had trained this dog to just sit absolutely staring straight. And the people would try and distract the dog, here boy, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Absolutely. That dog was fabulous. And of course, people would throw money in the violin case and all. That guy, he did very well with his busking. So those are my memories of New York street performers in the late 70s. Be fabulous.